Manchester United 4, Aston Villa 2, and few days after Aston Villa beat Man United in the Premier League 3-1, Man United have come back and got their revenge. 4-2 goals from Martial, McTominay, Bruno, and of course Rashford. There's so much to get into, The game we played without Ronaldo. Martial is back. Martial started up front. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Garnacho's performance in the second half. What does that mean for Man United? We are going to talk about Fred and McTominay combination, the lineup, the performance. There is a lot to get into, guys. Think of Firmino and the way Firmino used to help Liverpool play. He would drop deep and be the facilitator. And that was what Martial did for Man United. And that's what we have been missing. So that run, the forwards actually made the runs, but the midfielders either didn't see the runs quick enough or just lacked the creativity to execute a pass, or just lacked the vision to see the pass. We just have to call it. We play better without Cristiano Ronaldo. We do. If you're not. But of course, before we get into this, smash the like, turn on the notifications, and if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe below. It's a brand new football channel hosted by myself, Chosen Wisdom, to you guys, and we are going to dissect the football game, every Man United game, and just have a post-match review, a post-match relax breakdown, and we're going to dissect the game. And that's it. That is it, guys. So welcome back. I hope you guys have been blessed. I hope you've been good since the last game. Of course, the last game we've lost. I haven't been feeling good, but today I'm feeling a little bit better. A little bit better, guys. The performance in the first half wasn't great, but in the second half, it improved. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the game. Let's get into it, guys. Let's first and foremost, as we do, talk about the lineup. Who started, who was out, and why. First and foremost, the back four that started, as we know, Varane is injured anyway, so we have to start one of either Maguire or Lindelof. And of course, today we started Maguire and Lindelof. We decided to put Martinez on the bench, which, I'm fine with that. Shaw didn't start today. Malacia on the left. Dalot, has Dalot played every game? I feel like Dalot has played almost every game for Man United. That was a back four anyway. The midfield two was Fred and McTominay. I don't know what you guys feel about that, but either way, however you feel about it, Fred and McTominay are good enough to beat Aston Villa. We started with actually Bruno on the right, Rashford on the left, Donny in the middle behind Martial. And so we had no Anthony and no Sancho again. I don't know what's going on with Sancho. Apparently he's got tonsillitis and Anthony's also ill. But I'm now going to be curious because there's a bit of bubbling that you can feel the temperature. The temperature is rising a little bit in the fan base, and there's a bit of a inertia. There's a bit of momentum against Sancho now. I don't know where it starts from. Usually it starts from one person criticizing, then two people criticizing, then sooner or later you become lazy and he becomes the scapegoat for all the problems. And I can see a lot of people complaining when Sancho's he's not our major problem. He's not Man United's main problem. He's not. But I can see a lot of people are starting to, be reacting negatively towards Sancho. Just relax, guys. He's still young. Let's not jump to conclusions about him yet. That's all I have to say about Sancho. Anyway, so I'm good. Martial, I think, is good. I'm glad that Martial is back. I've missed Martial. I think Man United have missed Martial. The way that we played in pre-season, the way that we passed the ball and we moved one touch, sometimes two touches, it was fluid, and Martial was the centre. Martial was the clog. Martial was the guy that kept everything ticking. He was almost, think of Firmino and the way Firmino used to help Liverpool play. He would drop deep and be the facilitator. And that was what Martial did for Man United. And that's what we have been missing. So I'm glad that Martial's back. Bruno out on the right-hand side. We've seen it a few times this season. I think the manager is trying something. I'm okay with Bruno on the right-hand side. You do miss something when Bruno is on the right. Of course, he's a centre midfielder. So, and I do think Man United do miss something when he's on the right-hand side. But Bruno does lose the ball a lot. And I do think when he plays on the right, the little I've seen that when he's played on the right, he keeps the ball a lot more. So if it means that we retain more of the ball, we keep possession, so be it. So I'm okay with that. We started well in terms of the way we were moving the ball. Like I said, we moved the ball quite quickly. Our defense moved up as we have been doing all season. We usually play with quite a high line, hence why I don't think in the long term, Maguire or Lindelof is good enough for the system that we want to implement or the way that we want to play football. But, like I said, we started well, moving the ball, 1 touch, 2 touch. Defense moved up, we squeezed them. Martial tried to drop deep, as you do, to collect the ball and bring others into play. We also pressed well. And that's something that we don't do well at all. We don't do well at all with Ronaldo. We do not press well. And not only were we pressing really, really well, the way we were pressing in a pragmatic and logical way. We were closing down angles, not just one person running and the other team or the rest of the team just watching just one man press. We were pressing systematically, and that was quite good. But all of that being said, all of that stuff that I was impressed with, we didn't score. We didn't even look like scoring. And the reason why we didn't look like scoring, simply from my perspective, is that we just lacked that quality in midfield. We've seen Bruno, and Bruno's out on the right-hand side, but Fred and McTominay were not passing the ball quick enough, and we weren't passing the ball forward enough in the first half. The speed and the vertical nature of the passing, there were a lot of horizontal passes and not enough vertical passes, and not quick enough. And if you watch the first half if you watch the first half again, you will notice Martial, Rashford, and Bruno many, many, many times doing that run or making that run from wide to the inside. Because at the end of the day, if you watch, Villa also pushed up. Villa pushed up quite high. And many, many times we made that run. The forwards actually made the runs, but the midfielders either didn't see the runs quick enough. Many times Fred, just rather than trying to clip it up or clip it through, safe option, pass it sideways. So, and I'm not just picking on Fred, the midfielders in general. So didn't either see the pass quick enough, or just lacked the creativity to execute a pass, or just lacked the vision to see the pass. Time and time again in the first half, I just kept saying, look, over the top, clip it over, come on. And nobody was doing it. So I think it was about 30 minutes that went by and I realised that United, despite the fact that they were pressing well and they had decent possession and all of these things, hadn't created a chance. And the first half finished with Bruno Fernandes trying to shoot from 45 yards, a free kick. I don't know what he tried to do. And that kind of summed up the first half. The first half was just a half of final ball, the final pass, not quick enough, not sharp enough, lacking a bit of creativity, lacking a bit of quality, not passing vertical, not passing through the lanes. Donny, I saw a lot of time Donny made a lot of intelligent runs, but once again, he wasn't being spotted. The ball was just not coming to him, and that was, for me, the major problem in the first half. Second half, you think Man United are going to start well. The second half, you think United are going to come out guns blazing. You've learnt your lesson. You got spanked by this team a few days ago. But just like last game and the game before, second half starts, United concede straight away. Is that some sort of pattern that's arising? Is that something that we need to be concerned about as United fans? Because this is not, as I've just mentioned, it's not the first time this is happening. Why are we conceding goals so early? Why are we not adjusting to the pace, to the intensity of games quick enough? Why? It's now becoming a problem, clearly, and it's something that we need to address somehow. Ten Hag needs to address it. If it's a mentality thing, we need to get into the players' heads and find out what's going on. But Ollie Watkins, good goal. If you watch the goal again, and it's very difficult to blame. I find it very difficult to blame any one player when a goal goes in, unless it's obviously that player's fault. Like the player did a crazy, stupid back pass or did an obvious, glaring mistake. But when it's just good attacking play from the opposition, sometimes I find it hard to say, oh, it's that player's fault for not being in that position, or is that player's fault for not being in whatever position, because you could blame almost anybody at any time if you rewind the goal far enough, So sometimes I find it difficult to pinpoint who to blame when a goal goes in. But Fred and McTominay, if you watch that goal, the first goal, and this is my problem with Fred and McTominay as DMs, they are what I call engagers, right? They're reactive footballers. They react to the situation as it unfolds. If someone's running with the ball in that direction, you're going to run and follow them. If someone's running towards you, you're going to go engage and try to win the ball. They engage. Sometimes you don't need to engage. Sometimes you need to back off and cover the space. Block the passing lanes. We all know about blocking the passing lanes. Sometimes use the intelligence and say, do you know what? He's not going to do anything. Let me jockey him. Let me fall back. That's the difference between someone like Casemiro, who would probably not, doesn't always engage, does he? He will also fall back. He'll also jockey. He will also parry. He will also block the passing lanes. So if you watch the goal back again, you see both Fred and McTominay both engage and therefore are both taken out of the game. If that was Casemiro, I don't think that would happen. Maybe Eriksen would have engaged and Casemiro would have sat back or stood back or whatever. But that's just something they're not DMs. Fred and McTominay are not DMs. We know they're not DMs. That's the way they play. They're aggressive. They engage. But sometimes you shouldn't engage. Sometimes you just cover the lane. Force him to make a decision. But anyway, that's how I saw the first goal unfold. Ollie Watkins dinked the keeper. Good first goal. But Man United came back straight away, and that was so important, because if we didn't, if we didn't score straight away, I'm not going to lie, the way that the game felt, it felt like they were going to hit us on a break again. So I'm glad we came back straight away. Anthony Martial, my guy, from Bruno Fernandes. Good goal. Nice, neat goal. I think the pass to Bruno was even a better pass from, I think it was Dallo. Tell me if I'm wrong. Comment below if I'm wrong. But I think it was Dallo who gave the ball to Bruno. Great ball from Dallo. And Bruno, easy side foot, FIFA finish from Martial. Martial is back. Good goal from Martial. I hope this is just one goal of many. I hope he goes on to bigger and better things. I hope he continues to improve. You can see today he was sluggish a little bit. He wasn't exerting full force. You can tell he's just come back from injury, and I'm tired of seeing this guy come back from injury, then get injured, and come back from injury, then get injured. So if he's playing at 80% right now, that's fine. I think at 80% Martial is better than 100% Ronaldo right now. So the way that he's played today, he didn't blow me away. I'm sure he didn't blow anyone away, but we saw glimpses of what he can do with the team and how important he can be with the team. You know, the way that he was telling certain times, telling the team to just be patient and calm down. He's now becoming a leader. He's getting older. So he needs to kick on, actually. He needs to kick on. That's it. He's 26, I believe, right now. So it's now or never now for him. And I just hope he continues to be injury-free from now on. I really do. But good goal from Anthony Martial. Good pass from Bruno. But nothing really happened after that of note for a while. For about 10, 15 minutes, it was just very even passages of play until Leon flipping Bailey's header at the far post and Dallow's own goal. The whole move, that whole second goal from Aston Villa, the whole move, I thought to myself, where is our left-hand side? Where was Malacia? Where were they? They were nowhere to be seen. And Malacia, as much as I like Malacia, and he's young, he still can improve. It's his first season. We shouldn't be reactionary. You know, wait until somebody plays a few more games until we judge them fully. But I like Malacia. I really do. He had a good game today, but I sometimes get worried, and I spoke about the word engaging a lot. If he engage, a lot of times you see that he engages, right, to try to win the ball back. He doesn't always do it. Most of the times he does, but sometimes he doesn't, and he gets skinned, he gets turned. And a few times today he was turned, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, was it Man City? He played and he didn't really have a good game. I'm not sure. There was a game he played and he didn't have a good game, and Shaw came in, and since then he's been back. Shaw's more or less displaced him, and he's very aggressive. He's very aggressive, Malacia. He just needs to be careful that he's not too aggressive at times. I guess that is the point I'm trying to make. But anyway, left-hand side, non-existent. We needed a change. Aston Villa made a change, and finally Ten Hag made a change. What do you guys think actually about Ten Hag's changes in general since he's been here? I'm curious to find out what the fan base thinks, because sometimes, I'm not going to lie, and it's good to analyze and assess and critique your manager, but sometimes I think Ten Hag makes changes a bit too late. Sometimes I think he's a bit too hesitant to do things. Sometimes it's not his fault. He doesn't have the best of players, and sometimes you can argue that he doesn't have the big enough squad to always make changes, but you still can critique, and I think he can do better with his changes. But today he took off Martial, Fred, and Donny van de Beek, and he brought on Eriksen, Elanga, and Garnacho. It made sense. We needed better control. We needed more incisive, more creative passing, and Eriksen will give you that over Fred. Donny, you probably need more pace, more creativity in behind, hence the Elanga, hence the Garnacho change. I'm fine with that. So I'm fine. I was absolutely fine with those changes. I think maybe he could have made those changes earlier. But after those changes, we had two chances created from or by Malacia on the left. And Malacia, he cuts in on the left a lot, and he delivers this whipped sort of dink ball over the top to the striker who's running through. He does that ball quite a lot, and he is quite good at doing that. And twice he did that. The first time he did it, passed the ball, dinked over the top to Rashford, and it bounced once, bounced twice, and it bounced too many times. I think Rashford should have taken the ball and should have shot quicker, but he just let the ball bounce far too many times and he missed. But then the second time, it was same ball, same type of ball to Rashford again. This time Rashford flicked it onto Eriksen, who was through on goal, who I think he tried to shoot the ball, rebounded kindly to Rashford, who used his strength, shielded off the defender, I think it was Tyrone Mings, and slotted home for the equaliser. I think that was a really good goal by Marcus Rashford. I liked the initial leap, the flick-on header to Eriksen in the first place, which was really good, and he's getting really good at doing that. He scored a few goals recently with his head, with a really good leap, really good connection, and really good strike and head movement as well. I think he's getting the timing, because at the end of the day, scoring goals with your head, most of it is about the technique and the timing of the motion. So, and I think he's getting better at doing that. So, good on Rashford. I like that goal. I liked his involvement in the goal. And while in the first half he was quiet, I don't think he did that much. In the second half, he woke up, and yeah, he had a really good second half, Marcus Rashford. But yes, I think Bruno was also through. And he was through on the left-hand side, wasn't he, Bruno, at a very tight angle, and he decided to shoot. He decided to shoot, and I think the ball almost went out. He might have actually gone out for a throw-in, but I was tearing my hair out at Bruno. Why was he shooting from there? After that, we had like a flurry of chances. We had a Bruno shot from a Malacia cross. Then we had the Maguire header from the corner. And then Bruno scores. Bruno scores because we pressed. Something that we don't do when Ronaldo's on the field. And we just have to call it. We play better without Cristiano Ronaldo. We do. Let's get over it. Let's call it now, and let's just move on. But yeah, we pressed Villa. Great goal. I think it was a deflected shot actually from Bruno. But Garnacho, since he came on, he was just a nuisance. The way, first and foremost, his touch. He has a good first touch, and I like to look at a footballer's fundamentals, and I haven't seen enough of Garnacho to make a full assessment. But so far, from what I can see, his fundamentals are good. He's got a good first touch. He can pluck the ball out from the air, and for me, a good first touch shows everything. When the ball's bouncing off your feet like Lukaku, for me, that shows me a lot. Great first touch, close control, dribbling, he can pass. His short passing looks decent. And as we can see today, after today's game, his long passing looks okay. So far, I'm looking to see his attributes. He's quick, he's speedy. He doesn't look, even though he reminds me of Dan James a little bit, let's be honest, he does in his body movement. He doesn't play like Dan James. And he's got trickery as well. I'm cautiously excited because we've been here before. We've seen players like this come at this club and still not succeed. So far, so good. Garnacho had a really good run around the 80th minute. He beat a few people, kept the ball, kept running, jinxed left, jinxed right. And I was like, go on, son. Yeah, this kid, he looks decent. I'm not going to say he's the second coming of Jesus. I'm not. But so far, he looks decent. Rashford came off for Casemiro. Casemiro came on. As soon as this guy came on, he just looks so... The quality that this guy has, he's just better than everybody else. I would go as far as to say, do you know what? Casemiro might just be as good passer of the ball as Eriksen. I never knew... I knew Casemiro was a good footballer. I've seen Casemiro play many times. But because he's played with Modric and played with Toni Kroos, I never saw him as an amazing passer of the ball. And I'm not saying he is, but he's a good passer of the ball. This guy can pass the ball. He can. He came on and he shored up the defence. He shored up the midfield. And he gave us like a degree of control over the game that we just didn't have. And for the last 10 minutes, we were just comfortable. Man United were very, very comfortable. Martinez came on as well for Lindelof. Scott McTominay hit the crossbar later on in the game. And Garnacho left the field. What a good performance in a short space of time that he was on the field. Good performance, Garnacho. You have to give credit. The kid is doing well. When he's played, he's doing well. What a great ball to Scott McTominay. What a great ball. Do you know what? I think Scott McTominay is probably the only player in the squad that could have got that ball. He's probably the only one athletic enough to do that sort of Zlatan slide, sort of stretch, because that was quite a stretch. And even though it's quite a stretch, let's not take anything away from the ball. It was still a really good ball from Garnacho. He played well in the little time that he was on the field. Much better than Ilanga, in my opinion, as a footballer. On a technical level, he is. But let's go out on a bang. Let's go out on a bang. Good performance in the end. We started off shaky. First half wasn't so good. Second half, much, much better. Missed a few players, like I've said before, but we have won. Man United have won. Upwards, let's go. Next round. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not that fussed about this competition. But if we can win it, let's go. Let's try win it. Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Smash the like, turn on your notifications. Please share this video. Yeah, let's try to build this channel. Like I said, I'm going to be doing videos after every Man United game, just giving my view, my topic, my breakdown of what I saw. Comment below. Let me know what you thought of the game. Let me know. Yeah, just give me your view. Give me your view. All right, guys. Have a good evening. Have a good week. And I'll see you guys next time. If you're not